Oh, my name's Fox. I'm Fox. This is Monarch episode. I'm using Think Story stuff for clips. But, I'm watching these back to back. This is like one. Okay, so first off, I actually wanted something I forgot to bring up last episode because I kind of was, rushing. I don't know if I was rushing through it, but I wanted to get to the next stuff. One thing I actually love that pretty much to get this one asshole commander who was extremely racist to Kiko and all this shit, and all that, to get him off their back and stuff. Shaw went to Puckett, the Swede from Hell on Wheels, and told him, look, he's going to give you a report to try to divert money to the Russians or whatever. In this report, which is the actual report that has the actual info and all this stuff and all these things, he omitted all these stuff. And Puckett's like, so? What does it matter? He's like, what does it matter? How is this going to change anything? He's like, well, you see, sir, it omits Godzilla. And they're like, what does that matter? We killed Godzilla. We killed Godzilla with our nuclear superiority. Shaw's like, no, you did it. How do you know? I saw him. Well, shit. And then he handed him them. And then he also held, he's like, and if Kiko and Billy are, mangoes, and they're like, okay, yeah, yes, fine. Yes, and pretty much I guess that's how they got Monarch back, or at least funded. And then, it even leads to them having Project Hourglass, which I guess is also the reason why Monarch's thing is on. Anyway, we're Hiroshi here, which I believe that is. How, am I right in that Hiroshi is their dad? Because I'm trying to think, because he's I don't know, 10 here? I don't know how old he is here. He's however old here. And then we later on see, after Shaw's, pretty much the first... we later on see Shaw, or Hiroshi, a lot older, or at least 20 years older after this. And then if he's also Kate and Kentaro's father... how old is he at that point? Because it'd be Hiroshi Randa. Yeah, Hiroshi Randa. Date of birth, 1951. And then, well, somewhere around there. So 2014 minus 1951. He'd be 63 years old. I guess that, I guess that makes sense. But pretty much, the day of this, thing where they're going to send people to Hollow Earth. Because they figured out a way to get to Hollow Earth, which immediately kind of answers my question last time. I was like, how the hell are they going to get to Hollow Earth without one of those gravities ships or whatever? And I guess Titans can actually go through those portals, and those portals then stabilize when a Titan goes through, which means someone else can follow suit. So Shaw gives after the day of, gives Hiroshi his pocket knife and says, hold on to this for me till I get back. There's a pretty funny line where they're talking. They talk about, oh, you're going to get a Nobel Peace Prize. Kiko would be late for her Nobel Peace Prize. And we make sure you're not. And he says, you ever learn how to take your stick car out of third gear? And he's like, go to hell. He's like, well, in a minute. Because he's going to get dropped into the Hollow Earth. And he gets dropped in after there was a big-ass kaiju that was coming, but then he turned back using the Sarazawa's bomb, or bait attractor, I guess. Titan tractor. Drops him in. Something happens through there. There's an implosion. It kills some people that were viewing it. All this stuff. And pretty much is going to set Monarch down. As well as then Lee, when he goes to this world, he finds a few things. One of his people are attacked and I guess eaten by the dragon thing that attacked Billy's ship. Another one was killed by ground lightning, because apparently the energy, I guess, in the ground of Hollow Earth is very, like, the ground itself is charged, and it'll start following you and then shoot lightning that will one-shot you. Another guy was killed during that, and then Shaw, when that dragon thing came, went through the portal, sucked Shaw in, and it doing that, yeah, right here. Sucking Shaw in sends him 20 years into the future, which they even open up when they're talking about dropping Shaw down the hole into the other world. Or they straight say, like, going to space won't be for another 20 years. We're doing this now. We're doing this now. And then just so happens, when Shaw wakes up in this hospital, he's like, I want to talk to Bill Randa. I want to talk to Bill Randa. And they're like, do you want something to eat? Yes, I'd like a sandwich brought by Bill Randa. And I'm like, God damn it. Eventually, he takes the nurse hostage, says, like, where's Bill? And they say, like, Bill died 10 years ago. And then this man walks up to him, and we find out that Bill is actually dead, because obviously, yeah. But also, Hiroshi is, like, a much older man. Hiroshi is obviously much older now, 20 years later, and, like, it's actually kind of funny, because, like, well, he kind of has some animosity towards Shaw a little bit, because, he said, like, he'd be back, and he wasn't, and apparently, like, all three of them, Kiko, Bill, and Shaw all told him, we'll be back. And out of all of it, and they said, we'll be back. And, 20 years, and he assumed all of them died. But Shaw was the one who kept the promise. He kept the promise, and he came back. A little late, but, And another thing is, when Kentaro's trying to find answers after Monarch straight tells him, like, go away. Like, says, like, you look, Kate's dead, everyone's dead, just stay away. He goes back to office to try to find answers. Hiroshi's there. And there's some really good acting here, because I like this part when, they have their back and forth, and Kentaro's like, why are you doing, like, what did you, and he's like, I can't explain all this stuff. And he's like, I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to you guys. And he's like, it's too late. He's like, what do you mean? Kate's dead. And Hiroshi, like, takes a pause, walks over, turns around and goes, you're lying. Like, you're saying that to hurt me. You're not telling the truth. Tell me you're not telling the truth. And you just see, and he just starts breaking down. He's like, what have I, oh God, what have I done? Like, by God, this man knows how to act. I'm like, oh shit. I believe he's devastated. Also, like, with that animosity and stuff like that, also towards Shaw, he's the one that put Shaw in the retirement home. Which, mind you, again, he's shouldn't be in a retirement home right now, but they put him in there, and they just leave him there to rot. We kept running away. Left him in there to rot, and, like, he even said, like, we've survived with the Titans so many years. Like, only until you guys came up did we have actually anything to worry about. Only until you three did, like, we have anything to worry about. And then, eventually, we find out, like, when Shaw kind of broke free of him being stuck in this retirement home, did he, like, stop taking the pills that were pretty much stunting him and all this stuff when Godzilla attacked, when Godzilla resurfaced to fight the Mutos in 2014. I really like, because that's the thing too, like, out of all the MonsterVerse movies, like, 2014 Godzilla, it is a okay movie, and this is coming from someone who loves Godzilla. And mind you, when I saw that movie in theaters, I was like, okay, well, it's fine. Like, until, like, the final fight, and we see, like, I mind you, when the final fight, like, every time Godzilla roared, I was like, oh, and when you see, and like, I was at the edge of my seat going like this, happy, when you see the atomic breath slowly creep up his tail, go up into his dorsal fins, and he just, kiss of death, which now I'm just happy years later I've learned that's the name. Also, it's 10 years since that movie came out. He, like, the Godzilla's finishing move when he grabs them, opens their mouth, and just throws atomic breath down their throat. It's called the kiss of death. I'm like, it's so corny, but it works so well. I love it. Like, it's so good. I love that shit. I love that that's the MonsterVerse's name for his ability. That's a canon thing. Like, I didn't realize if you watch Godzilla vs. Kong, when they're going through the files in the beginning, like, showing, like, kind of like a catch-up of what happened in the last movie is also what happened. Like, they show, like, Muto killed by Godzilla's kiss of death. I'm like, oh, shit! So, like, yeah. Oh, man. Have I said how much I like this figure yet? I love both of these things, but goddamn. But yeah, so Hiroshi was kind of a dick to his uncle Shaw, too. Alright, what is happening here? Because he comes back, he's still continuing some work, but I want to see what this guy actually has to say about that.
To hate both the Titans and Monarch, which could mean he teams up with Apex Cybernetics, which were hinted at the end of episode 7.
Maybe.
Apex's goal is to destroy the Titans by controlling them, so it's a possible avenue the show could go down. After dodging these cool...
Maybe, yeah, it's the ground lightning. And like Lee and May, yeah, pretty much where that's going on, Lee and May are in Hollow Earth looking for Kate. Kentaro, is told to stay out of their world. And out of Monarch's world. And, like, Kentaro can't put it down. I'm not sure what Axis Mundi means.
For answers. The title of this episode is Axis Mundi,
yeah.
a Latin term meaning axis of the world. It's basically a concept that describes a central point in which our world or universe revolves. And this axis can connect different realms or dimensions. The one here connects our world up top and the hollow earth below. Now
okay. Trailers. Okay. Yeah, and then we also do find out something interesting when we find out that when we do finally find Kate and Warthog Bull thing is trying to attack her, or another Titan that's in there, and she saved by an arrow, and we find Kiko, which I did say, I don't know if I said last episode, but I know I wrote down my notes, where I'm like, Kiko's probably alive down there. And she is! Like, I guess, so I don't know how time, I don't know how time works here. Because they could go these things are kind of like wormholes. Like, there is the idea that time travel can exist, at least if there is a, like you can't, let's say if I wanted to go back to kill Hitler, there's probably a chance I can't do that because there isn't unless there is a wormhole that leads to that point in time, whether it be through a space travel or something, or in this case, hollow earth holes, I can't go back then. There has to be a wormhole that leads to that point in time. But maybe because the Hollow Earth, if these are supposed to be like wormholes and stuff like that, also maybe something like that, and Kate actually got sent back to the past a little bit more, or maybe just, there is the idea that radiation or whatever can slow down their aging process or something. Because the question is, like, how is Kiko still alive? And also, like, Shaw did kind of say to Kate or May that, like May says, like, explain to me what the story. I have all the time in the world. And he's like, you really don't. Like, I'm guessing maybe it's, like, the longer you stay down here. Like, the time dilation is weird. So, Kiko could probably have been here only for, I don't know, a week. Or a year, mind you. But because Hollow Earth has a different time dilation than outside, or like, Shaw. Like, Shaw was only down there for maybe a day or few. But he got sucked back out, and later on, it's 20 years later. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of pull a similar thing that they did with Hiroshi, where Kentaro, is on the surface trying to figure shit out, but inside Hollow Earth itself, like with Kate, Shaw, Kiko, and May being in Hollow Earth, maybe they're gonna be there long enough to where when they come out of, if they make it out of Hollow Earth, which again, like the idea, like, you know, they just gonna follow Tiny, and I'm like, all right, that's fine. But I'm like, I don't believe it. But maybe when they get out of Hollow Earth, like, it's gonna be a big reveal, like what time, like, where are we? What year is it? And then we find out it's 2024 it's 2024. And then we find out, like, oh shit! Like, and then, like, that's when, like, you see, like, the images of Kong and Godzilla fighting each other or something along those lines. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like something along those lines where it's like, oh shit, like they were down there for too long, or maybe they even see Kong swing overhead at one point, and it's like, wait a minute, like what the fuck? What is that giant gorilla doing? What are those flying machines? Like something like that. Like I could see something like that happening. Like, I feel like more would be along the lines they're gonna wake up and, like, they'll be in 2024. That way, then, you could have them be introduced into the movies after this. And maybe, like, they'll be, like... That way, it's kind of, like, the idea of adding more, like, the, Because, again, like, some people... Like, biggest people complaints, I guess, are, like, the human characters. Like, the only one that I feel about that is maybe the 2014 one. Also, I kind of bypassed what I was gonna say about the 2014 one. But... The 2014 one, alright, yeah, I would have preferred between Bryan Cranston throughout it. But even then, it was okay. It's funny seeing Quicksilver and Black Widow, or Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch being together in that. Because what's really weird about comics is that is canon to comics. And yes, it's as eerie as you think. It is exactly what you think. And that's not a joke. I was like, That's, okay, it's not the first time they've done that. Thank you, Ultimate Universe. Yeah, the universe that Miles Morales used to be in. There's a reason Marvel said, delete. Hold on a minute, Miles. We're going to put you over here in 616. Now delete! But yeah, it's so... Yeah, like what I wanted to say about 24... Yeah, but that's my guess. We might get like that time dilation, they might appear, like, during Godzilla X Kong or something like that. And maybe this is supposed to be kind of like the introduction to, like, a family, like, the Randa family being connected to monsters, like, making them more in line with, like, you know, human characters to follow more, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Kintaro's a major part of Monarch or even Apex later in the future. Because they killed, Serizawa's kid in Godzilla vs. Kong, unless, like, they're gonna have, like, he's in the mainframe or some shit. But, like, they killed him off when he was trying to pilot, when they were trying to pilot Mechagodzilla. So, I don't know if they're gonna... So, like, I don't know, like, this would be a cool way to have another, like, family bloodline kind of following. Oh, shit, what was that? Okay, I have no idea what disconnected, so I'm just gonna hope this is all going well. But yeah, so Kiko's alive. I'm on the finale now, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. Let's see. Is there anything in my notes that I added just to make sure I got everything? Hiroshi breaking down when he finds out Kate is dead. One killed in a fall. Yeah, ground lightning. Kiko's probably alive. Yep. Kiko, Billy, Shaw all promised Hiroshi they'd come back. Shaw was the only one who did. He only kept the promise. 20 years. And he meets older Hiroshi. Columbo got saved by his partner, the French girl, go to hell, he says, is about to go to Hollow Earth. Shaw and Billy are pretty much the dads of Hiroshi. Remember, Shaw made sure Billy got a recognition. Yeah, Colonel for Godzilla, yeah. Kiko is alive. Bushworld, yeah, okay. Yeah, so, I think that's it. This was cool. It's cool to see what's going to happen with Kiko meeting her granddaughter now. And then finding out, like, all the time that's passed. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. Like, this girl found out that, like, every time there was, like, an explosion or whatever, that there is a message being sent. Oh, constant message. So I don't know if that's sending, like, there's another kaiju coming, or if it's Morse code or something like that. Like, let's see.
Know that Keiko has had enough time to fashion her own bow, and it's possible she is the one sending these gamma messages from...
Yeah, because this girl that was found the first one's who's Ice Cube's son's sister in the Godzilla vs. Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Low. But how could she possibly do that? Well, Lee and his crew did leave behind Dr. Suzuki's gamma emitter when they came in 1962, so it's entirely possible that Keiko found this and...
That could be it, but also I think they're hinting at maybe that there's another kaiju down there, maybe hinting. Hell, it could be that the freaking Scar King is down there knocking on the door. I don't know. But this is interesting. I love this a lot. I'm loving more. This is definitely more of like what I was kind of hoping for the show. Like the lore of these big ass kaijus. And I definitely want to see what's going to happen next and if we're going to get anything. See what other monsters are going to be popping up soon. Because, again, I'm waiting. Tomorrow's the finale, or the next episode is the finale. So I want to see, like, alright, Godzilla hasn't popped up for a minute. I feel like if they're going to have a big-ass kaiju fight, it's going to be in the finale of it. And I want to see what's going to happen with that. And also want to see how this is going to play out with Kiko and Kate and all this stuff. And especially because I feel like, again, it's probably going to end with them going to, them like waking up in like 2024. If they leave now, like if they leave Hollow Earth, I feel like they're going to wake up in 2024. And, I also feel like, and we got to see what the message was for Shaw that Billy left behind when he was on Skull Island. But we have to see, like, because this also brings up the question too, like, if there is that much of a time dilation down there at the end of Godzilla versus Kong, there's a group of Monarch, the Kong team is down there now, as well as, Kong. So, like, the question is, like, how long are they going to be down there, and what's going to happen when they come back up? Is it going to be completely different timeline, or are they going to be like, we've only been down there for a week? What do you mean it's 2024 now? We left in 2019. Like, so, I don't know. But Turks and Gobs below, thanks for watching. Check the Zen links on our Facebook. So if you guys have theories, and we will. See you later. I don't know what it is, but that's kaiju. I love Godzilla. Like, their design is so good. I would definitely want to see what's happening more. I love the lore behind these things, too. It's so damn good. It's so great. I love it.